Yeah, we got a couple minutes. If the speakers can come up, we'll take one or two questions, and then we'll have to end. We caught up for 20 minutes, so we did a pretty good job. Thank you, speakers, for doing such a good job keeping up.
Dr. Ray Price from Salt Lake City. I'm going to try to put you more on the spot. This is something that's taking more of my time at my facility than anything else, with representatives from every single drug company trying to come in and speak to us, and our hospitals now trying to figure out which of these meshes we are going to use. In your hospital, do you have all of these meshes in your hospital? And if not, which ones do you have and why?
So I'll just say that you know, in the interest of the whole conflict of interest thing, I think that there are many factors that go into purchasing contracts for products in general, and so giving a list of all of what we use I don't think is going to be necessarily helpful because it's too complicated. Having said that, we are looking at going to potentially a just-in-time inventory scenario where the surgeon can match whatever mesh fits that patient and then maybe get it in time for the case. You have any comments, Bruce or Todd?
No, very similar. And again, as we drive these models, we're going to be looking at what's the right mesh for the right patient through continuous quality improvement. And I would mention, as Todd just reminded me, we're not really supposed to talk about any specific mesh products anyway. If you want to talk to any of us after the session, you can come up to us individually. We only have time for one more question. I apologize.
Dr. Palapathu?
Regarding the use of mesh in contaminated fields, like even in biological meshes, they get infected too. Do you recommend using like a temporizing measure, using a BioA and go back later on, putting a biological mesh, or how do you get your staged approach for those things?
I think there are a lot of factors that go into that, and it depends on how sick the patient is, how contaminated the wound is. And if I've got a very contaminated, nasty wound, I have no problem packing the patient, backpacking them, putting them in the ICU, and then coming back and reoperating and then washing them out 2 or 3 times, and then putting a biologic mesh in that field. I don't have any problem doing that at all. And the selection of something like BioA and then coming back and putting a biologic, I mean, there are some early data that shows that perhaps you can even use that as a buttressing material, not as a bridge, even in contaminated wounds. But I don't have any problem. And there is absolutely, there's good data from more than one study that shows that a clean, and Sharon has shown this from California, that there is good data that shows that a cleaner wound does better with biologic mesh. And I think that we'll see antimicrobials on biologic meshes shortly.
I'll also just add that it may not be a bad idea in certain circumstances to leave the hernia and close the skin, either with or without washing them out a bunch of times, and come back to fight another day regarding the abdominal wall. Right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end the session. Sorry about the little bit of the lateness and the premature, but we'll be around up here or in the back if you need anything else. Thanks for coming.